The silver one? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Hi everyone, thanks for coming. I'll try to make this as brief as possible for those of you sitting on the floor. I'm sorry. So welcome to the International Alternative Break Information Sessions. Today I'm going to be talking about the 2 international breaks that are going to Peru and Ecuador this December. And just so you know, they are 2 different breaks, so 2 different signups, but I will be talking about both of them at this information session. So just to get things started, we have done international alternative breaks in the past. We've been doing them for about 10 years now. Some of the more recent ones, we did go to Peru just a couple years ago, and that's actually a picture of us in the mountains over in Peru. And then last year we went to Germany and Poland, and we'll also be going to Germany and Poland again this year. And then just this past December we went to Belize. And we also have a partnership with Study Abroad that we go through with international alternative breaks. So with Study Abroad, typically we have a representative from Study Abroad who comes and gives a little speech about the office and things like that. She couldn't be here today, so there's some things that she wanted me to include. So one really cool thing that she touches on is just the perspectives that you gain from studying abroad while in college. I know personally I've gone on 2 international alternative breaks, and I think that they have completely made my college career. It would not have been the same without them. So I think that you guys can all agree that going to college isn't just about like the academic perspective. It encompasses a lot of different things. And that's what going on international alternative breaks does. So it helps you to gain perspective, gain confidence, and it also is really great on resumes. So like the things that you'll be doing on these breaks could help you like in your future careers also. And then another thing she wants me to touch on is the orientation that you'll be required to go to if you do get on these alternative breaks. So it happens in November. It's about a 4-hour long orientation, and Megan, who is our representative, will be leading it, and she talks about things like what you guys are going to be doing there, how to like transfer money, the kind of culture that you'll be working with. Like a really big thing that she works with is culture shock. So when you return there, and also when you come back, the culture shock that you get back coming back to America and things like that. And then once you are registered for this break, you will sign up for an international health insurance through Study Abroad. So they help cover your health insurance in case anything were to happen on the break, and that'll cost you about $20 for the whole 2 weeks. Can everyone hear me? Sorry, I just had strep last week. Struggle. Okay, so the first break I'm going to talk about is the Peru break, and this one is going to focus on education. If you guys just want to like grab a seat up there or back there, so you guys can stand me. Sorry, okay. So the break is going to go out December 26th through January 9th, so it's a 2-week long break. It'll leave the day after Christmas, and you'll be gone over New Year's Eve, so you'll be celebrating New Year's Eve in Peru. Unfortunately, we don't have like a whole lot of site specifics for this break because the person who is coordinating this is still in Peru planning the specifics for us. So some things that we do know, like you'll be volunteering in a school. When we went in 2012, it sounds like it'll be similar to that. And it's actually the one that I went on. So what we did was we spent all morning in a kindergarten classroom, and then in the afternoon we spent in a 4th and 5th grade classroom. We spent a lot of time like working with the kids, teaching them Spanish. No one actually really knew Spanish on our break, so it's okay if you don't know Spanish. You kind of learn it while you're there, and you just work with the kids, and it's a lot of fun. And then also, the thing that's different about this break, as opposed to when we went in 2012, it's 2 weeks long this time, and it goes over New Year's Eve. So during that time, some of the kids might not actually be in school, so you guys won't be in the school for the whole 2 weeks. And during the time that you won't be in schools, you'll be working with young mothers in Cusco, and like they have like it's kind of like a daycare program, but a little bit different culturally and things like that. You'll be working with them. And then some of the excursions that you can go to is hiking Machu Picchu, just exploring the city. We did like went to a lot of different restaurants, and like just like they have markets and things like that there. We did some cooking classes, typical like Peruvian dishes. So things like that is what you can do. And then the costs. So the program cost is about $2,200. This is subject to change just because, like I said, we don't know the specifics. If anything, it would be cheaper. I included the higher cost because hiking Machu Picchu is what costs the most for excursion-wise, but it's a pretty big attraction in Peru, so I figured that most people would want to do it. But if your group decides not to, it might end up being a couple $100 cheaper. And with this program cost, you get 3 meals a day. You get all of your lodging, and then Kaya is the program that we work with, and they provide you like with a group site leader that'll be with you and like take you to different places. So all of your transportation, all of like translating, since if you don't speak Spanish, things like that, and also it includes the excursion. And then also the plane ticket is about an estimate of $1,200. This is like 9 months away, so we don't know for sure what the exact plane ticket price will be, but typically plane tickets to Peru are about $1,200. And then some other fees that you'd want to consider if you don't have a passport, you'd want to get one ASAP. They're about $110, and it takes about 3 months for it to process and for it to get to you and things like that. If you do have a passport, you need to make sure that it doesn't expire within 6 months of your trip. So it would have to be like eligible through July of next year-ish. And then also like going to the travel clinic on campus. For Peru, you guys might need like some shots and stuff like that. Not very many. I think when we went, it didn't cost any more than $50 to get the shots that we needed for immunizations and things like that. So it's not too expensive. And then the alternative breaks fee, this includes like the t-shirt that you get. If you guys have ever been on an alternative break, it covers things like reorientation, meetings with your groups and things like that. And that's about $70. And then also the health insurance that I mentioned from study abroad, which will be about $20. So that's all I have on Peru. Does anyone have any questions so far about it? No? Okay. Okay, then I'm going to move on to Ecuador. So Ecuador is the Amazon Rainforest Conservation. We do have more information on this one. They have been there and they set it all up for us. So the trip dates are the same. It'll be December 26th through January 9th. So 2 weeks and over New Year's Eve. So the site specifics, you'll be working in the Amazon rainforest. So where you'll be like lodging is about, I think 15 or 20 minutes outside of it. And then every day for your project, you'll be driving, you'll be taking some kind of transportation to get to the Amazon rainforest, and you'll be working with like reforestation, working on organic farms, seed collection. It sounds like a lot of like type gardening, I've used that word loosely, like type work in the forest. And also like working with English education and stuff like that. And then this also includes an excursion that would happen in Tina, I believe is how you pronounce it, which is in the rainforest. So yeah. So the cost for this program would be about $2,245, and all of this information is also on your sheet if you guys are wondering. And this also includes the same as Peru, so 3 meals a day, you get your lodging, the same kind of group leader that you would get, and transportation around Ecuador. For the excursion, we don't know for sure what excursion you guys would do. They had a list of options that you and your group would probably decide together as a group what you wanted to do. There were some really cool ones like hiking in the rainforest and kayaking and things like that. So it kind of just depends on like risk management and also like what your group wants to do. And then the plane ticket is approximately the same as Peru, about $1,200. And then the other costs, such as passports, travel clinic, alternative breaks fee, and the health insurance, just like Peru, also apply to this break. Does anyone have any questions on this one? Okay, so now that you guys have all the information, I really recommend that you share any of this information with people who might be helping you monetarily, with family members, just so that you know, like if you can afford it. Make sure that like before you sign up on the break, be for sure that you can afford it, because it does affect the other participants that are going on the break if it ends up that you can't make it anymore. So before you sign up, make sure you do things like that. And then the sign-ups will be April 20th at 7:30 a.m. on OrgSync. So since you guys have all came here and swiped in, I will send you all an email tonight that will confirm that you guys have been added to the International Alternative Breaks portal on OrgSync. So if you guys have ever signed up for an alternative breaks before, you know that you go on OrgSync and you go on the Volunteer Center page. But for these signups, they're going to be different because they'll be under the International page. So make sure that you go to that portal instead of the Volunteer Center one. And also when you click attending, it'll be just like an alternative break where you get a deposit fee will be charged to your account. However, since the international breaks are a little bit more expensive, the deposit fee will be a little more expensive, and the $200 is going to come out of the program fee. So the $2,245 that I had mentioned, like for cost for the program, it'll take $200 off of that. So it's just a deposit fee, just to say like, hey, like yes, I'm committed to this program, something like that. And yeah, that's all I got. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah.
How many people are on each group?
There'll be 10 students and 2 student site leaders. So it's a first come, first served basis. So you want to get there right at 7:30 to sign up and make sure you get a spot. Oh yeah, good idea.
Oh, how safe is it to travel to like these areas?
Very safe, especially with the group leader that we have that'll be working with us. There's never been an issue. And we also work with study abroad. We actually, we were supposed to go to Ghana last year, but we ended up not going because of safety issues. So we work with study abroad, and that they ensure that the places that we go will not be in danger to us. And we also only go to places that Central Michigan studies abroad, in general, for classes and things like that. And also, Erica just mentioned to me, a really big part about alternative breaks is that we do a lot of fundraising. I forgot to put a slide in there, sorry. So I know when I went to Peru, I think I ended up paying $1,500 for the whole trip, plus plane ticket, because we fundraise so much money. So it's definitely possible to lower your costs. There's individual fundraisers that you can do, so GoFundMe.com. You can do things in your hometown, but also as a group of 12 students, you guys do a lot of fundraising, alternative break-wide fundraising that'll help lower your costs. So if money is an issue, you can talk to your site leaders about it, and they'll definitely help come up with fundraising ideas for you guys to do as a whole group. Yeah. Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Are there payment plan options for any of this?
For the plane ticket, they typically do payment plans, and then for the program fee, so you guys will pay for that separately. The program fee will get charged to your student account, typically around December or January.
Okay.
So after you get back from the break is when you get charged that amount of money. Whereas the plane ticket, typically we can do payment plans, but we can't guarantee it.
I can help with that.
Okay.
Sorry. Actually, there's a couple things. So payment plans for flights actually depends on your individual circumstances with the STA travel agency that we work with. So some of you would maybe qualify for a payment plan option, whereas others wouldn't for your flight. And then for the program fee, that comes as one lump sum. It actually comes right before you go out. So right before you head out on your trip. Once we know how much you fundraise as a group, we determine the final cost of your trip. I go over that in detail with you so you understand where all your money is going to. And then we charge that in one lump sum to your student account. So then how you individually manage your student account works out, however you would do that with the financial aid office. Does that make sense?
Yeah, just with fundraising, it's extremely possible for you to fundraise a lot on your own. For example, I went on the Belize trip last winter and I fundraised $2,000 over the summer just on my own, and a big chunk of that was I just wrote up little letters that had a picture of me with a previous volunteer experience explaining the trip, and I just asked for people's pop cans and I wrote my name and my phone number at the bottom, and by the end of the summer I had about $500 in pop can money that I had collected just by having people give me pop cans and taking them back to Meyer on my own. And then I chose to do a bowling fundraiser, so I charged people $20 to come in, and the bowling alley took $8 from that because I explained the circumstances, and I got the rest of that money. And so if you really think about it and are creative, you can definitely fundraise a lot for that. So if what Ari was saying, if cost is something that worries you with this, just know that there are ways to fundraise, and a lot of people are surprisingly willing to donate money to you because these are such great causes.
Does anyone have any other questions?
Is the plane ticket price for both ways, or is that just one?
Yep, it's two-way. No, you're stuck in Peru. Great. Anyone else? Awesome. Well, if you guys end up having any questions, feel free to email me or email the volunteer center, and they'll send it to me. And sign-ups are next Monday, so don't forget.
If you didn't
Get a
sign in,
sheet.
Yes.